Hello, everyone. This is Kate from Wheels Up Network, and thank you so much for joining us today. And our wonderful presenter today is Amanda, Business Development Manager at Playa Hotels and Resorts. And before we begin our webinar, I just want to remind you that Amanda has an amazing price for you, and it's a 3-night stay for 2 guests at Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. And in order to qualify for a draw, you will have to stay until the end of the webinar. And if you have any questions throughout the webinar, please ask them through chat box in your control panel on the side. You can ask questions at any point, but we will answer them at the end of the webinar. Thank you and welcome, Amanda.
Thank you so much, Kate, and hello, everybody. I wish I could see you. I hope you are all doing well. I'm really excited today to change things up a little bit and talk about specifically Pacific Mexico. Before I jump into that, just want to remind you all of the brands that you're going to find under the Playa portfolio. Hopefully you are familiar with them all. Of course, our Jewel Resorts in Jamaica, our Hyatt Zivas and Hyatt Zilaras, our Hilton all-inclusive properties, our Panama Jack Resorts, and last but not least, of course, Sanctuary Capcana. Just remember, you can find so much information on all of these properties right on our Agent Cash profile, which I will tell you a little bit more later on. So again, today we're just going to talk about the West Coast, and I haven't been able to do a presentation specifically on these two properties in a while, so I'm really excited. They are both, of course, reopened and doing great. We have our Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos and our Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta. Hopefully some of you who are joining me today have had an opportunity to visit these two properties. I know I certainly don't get to go there as often as I would like, and hopefully 2021 will bring me to both of these amazing destinations. One of the things that I love about Pacific Mexico is, of course, whales. If you are traveling during the winter months, typically November till April, the whales migrate through this area. So whether you're in Puerto Vallarta or in Los Cabos, right from both of the Hyatts, you can potentially see whales. Of course, there are so many amazing excursions that you can do as well if you want to get right out and get close and personal with the whales. There is that opportunity as well. Now, I'm going to, again, talk about both properties. We've got a fair amount of time, but I don't have a huge presentation for you, but I'm going to tell you about some of my very favorite things. Now, of course, we're going to start with our Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. Now, I know a lot of people from West Coast have been here, and this is a really popular property for the West Coast. Here in Central Canada and Eastern Canada, it's a little bit more tricky to get to. So I know a lot of agents have been reaching out over the last year or so saying, when are we going to go? When are we going to go? And I really am hoping to be able to get a fam going to Los Cabos in 2021. So this property is in the San Jose del Cabo area, which is one of my favorite spots in this area, simply because to me, it feels like a more authentic experience in Los Cabos. A lot of people, when they think of Cabo San Lucas, they think of Cabo, they think of Cabo San Lucas, which is, of course, where the cruise ships go in. It's where there's a lot of really great high-end shopping. A lot of the main excursions go out of Cabo San Lucas. So it is a really popular spot, a lot of restaurants, bars, nightclubs. So it's always really important to know how far we are from there if that's what your clients are going for. So San Jose del Cabo is about a 30-minute drive to Cabo San Lucas and a $50 taxi ride. Now, that's a one-way 30-minute ride, $50 taxi. But if you're comfortable hopping on a local bus, you can hop on a bus right in front of the property. And I think it's about $3 to get you right into Cabo San Lucas. Now, one of the things that I really love about the area here in San Jose is the beach. Now, it's not recommended for swimming. Most areas of Los Cabos have a very dangerous undertow. So there's only a handful of properties throughout the entire region that do have swimmable beaches, maybe even less than a handful. So it is not recommended for swimming. However, the beach here in front of the Hyatt is, as you can see, a very wide beach. It's very long, it's miles long. So for beach walkers, it's really appealing. And another really great thing is that it's actually a really soft textured sand. If you've ever been to Cabo San Lucas, it is a really coarse sand. So it's actually not even comfortable to walk barefoot. So here in San Jose, it's a really nice soft sand. You can walk for miles and it's gorgeous. Now, another really great thing about this area is that you are on this gorgeous beachfront and you're only 10 minutes from the actual downtown of San Jose. So it's a really cute, authentic town, cobblestone streets. They do a lot of really neat art exhibits and art shows. So if you're interested in that or your clients are interested in that, it would be something you'd want to look into because there's definitely some great art shows that they have. Also, it's a really great region for your golf clients. We have a number of fabulous golf courses in the area. And of course, the concierge on property would be able to help set that up for you and your clients. Now, I did just want to show you, you can see, actually, let me pop back for 1 minute. You can see our main pool area here. Remember that a Hyatt Ziva is an all ages resort. So we allow guests of all ages to join us here. So these two main pools are for all of our guests. The front pool that you see right closest to the sand is actually an infinity pool, which is great. So you can just look out, see that beautiful beach and ocean. And it's actually heated in the winter, or a heated pool. So in the winter, it's really appealing because it does tend to cool down a little bit in the evening. So your evenings and your mornings can be quite chilly sometimes. So it's nice to have the heated pool. Now, although we have these all ages pools, we also have this really beautiful adults only pool area. So it is to the left-hand side of the property from the last photo that we were looking at. And if you actually look towards the top of this picture, under in the pool, under one of those little shaded areas, you can see the red t-shirt. That's actually Freddie and I sitting there. So if you're from the West Coast or you know Freddie Marsh, that is him and I sitting in that pool. And that area of this adults only pool is actually a sunken living room. We're actually sitting on a couch there. So it's actually kind of a cool area. There's a couch in the water, chaise lounge. It's a really, really cool pool. And of course, there's no kids allowed. We do, even though it's an an all ages property, we do tend to get a lot of clients traveling to our Hyatt Zivas without kids as well. So it's nice to have that area. And then of course, on the opposite side of the property is where our kids club is. So it's nice if you are on the adult pool, you're not going to hear the kids at the kids club. You're not going to hear them on the water slides or splashing around. And for those families, it's great because we've got a lot of lounge furniture around this water park area. So you can relax, read your book, keep your eye on your kids, or if you've got really little ones, you can actually see that the water area here, it's actually zero entry. So that means it starts very shallow and it progressively gets a little bit deeper. And by a little bit, I mean maybe a foot deep. It doesn't get very deep. So even the toddlers can waddle around in the shallow waters and play and have fun. Now you can see where the photo of the whale, the whale on the left of your screen, just behind that where that thatched roof is, that's our kids club, and it's a really awesome kids club. Our kids club at the Hyatt is for age 4 to 12, and then of course we have a teens club as well, which is for teenagers age 13 to 17. Now, one of the great things, another really great thing about this property is that over 80% of our room inventory does have an ocean view. So majority of our rooms have gorgeous views. And again, remember, maybe you're going to see the whales passing by as you're sitting having your morning coffee or your evening glass of wine before you head down to dinner. Over 80% of the rooms have these ocean views. Now, with the Hyatt properties, of course, you have some really amazing services included. We also have our 24-hour room service in all suite categories. That's free of charge, which I think is great. We also have fully stocked mini bars with juice, water, pop, and beer. You have Wi-Fi available throughout the entire resort, which is a really strong signal. We actually pay a lot of extra money to make sure that those signals are strong, especially now with a lot of people working remotely, being able to go on those extended holidays. Perhaps doing some work from paradise, that great promotion we have going on right now. So it's really important that you're able to get that strong signal and connect when you need to. And of course, we want you to be posting. We want your clients posting about their amazing vacation with us. Now, of course, also one of the features with all of our Hyatt properties is our guaranteed bedding configuration. So no more having to send in requests. Hopefully you are aware of that with these properties already. If you have clients that want a king size bed, just make sure you book a room that has king in the title, and that will be a guarantee. If they have a king size bed, they're also going to have a pull-out sofa. And then of course, if you want doubles, you just make sure you book them into a double room. And we do have a number of suite categories available. This property is actually the property with the highest number of 1 and 2 bedroom suites. So those suites are more popular now than ever. Guests really want to have that separate sleeping area for the little ones, or just have the larger space to be able to hang out in your room a little bit, to have order room service. It's included. Why not have a great dinner right in the comfort of your own room? So a lot of 1 and 2 bedroom suites are at this property. So this here's what a typical room category would look like. Of course, our swim out suites here are very, very popular. Any one of our properties are going to have swim out suites being the most popular. Now, of course, remember right now with COVID, we are running at lower occupancy levels, which means that not all of our room allotments are available, even right from the get-go. So you're going to want to make sure if your clients are looking for a swim up suite or one of those larger suites, try to get them booked in sooner rather than later. Of course, remember that when you are booking with us, we have really flexible cancellation policies. So if they do go ahead and book in advance and decide as they get closer to, they want to change their mind, of course, we have that flexibility as well. Now, this is maybe my favorite room of any property we have. Of course, it's our presidential suite. So I showed you an entry level. We got to take a look at what the exterior of some of our swim out suites look like. And then, of course, beautiful presidential suites. Now, one of the things that I love about all of our properties is that it really doesn't matter what room category you're in. You are going to have a beautiful room. It really is just the view that changes. And of course, depending on the size, just the configuration. But we always make sure that if we're doing renovations, if we're doing updates, we're renovating and updating all of our suite categories. We don't just do, the most expensive ones because that's what we want you to book and then leave the entry level ones until, somewhere down the road. We renovate and update all of them. So no matter what property you're looking at, you're going to have a really nice room. Now, again, remember, you do still need to make sure you're qualifying your clients. We want to make sure that they're getting into the room category that they want. If they're used to an ocean view, book them into an ocean view. If they're used to an ocean front, book them into an ocean front. We, of course, will send down requests if you're looking for upgrades, but I always tell my clients, my agents in my territory, it's better to make sure that you're booking them into the room they want, because we typically run at high occupancies. And now with our COVID lower restrictions, we really want to make sure clients are getting into the rooms that they want. Now, of course, at all of our Hyatt properties, you also have the option to upgrade your clients to a club level suite. Now, club level suites are typically a preferred room location. They're going to have a private check-in. They're going to have a lounge area such as this that has a separate food area, separate services for our club level guests. And of course, in their suites, they're also going to have upgraded amenities. Now, one of the great things about us, another great thing, I tend to say that a lot, I'm realizing, is that we have really incredible and innovative dining experiences at our properties. One of the things that I hear the most about is the food. When people say, what's Playa known for? One of the first things that comes to my mind is, of course, the food. This is our French restaurant. Now, of course, with any of our properties, we don't require reservations. Now, with COVID, we certainly do call ahead dining. It is definitely a lot easier to maintain social distancing. You're not having any of the lineups outside waiting to be seated. So we do have call ahead dining where you are able to make those reservations in advance. We also don't have any limitations to our a la carte dining. So you're not limited to maybe 3 a la carte restaurants throughout your stay. You're welcome to dine at our a la carte restaurants every single night if you'd like. And you can also now, with our new Playa Safe Stay policy, you're able to actually order out as well. So it's a little bit different than your room service, which you also have the option of. Maybe you're just walking around and you decide, what, I kind of feel like French. You walk by the French restaurant, you can pop into the maitre d' right at the front, place an order, and they're going to pack it up for you in to-go containers that you can take with you. So really, really great improvements to our already amazing food and beverage program. This is our Italian restaurant, which is, you can see, a beautiful ocean front. Now, again, look at the size of that beach. I just want to mention that for a minute, because if you do groups at all, destination weddings, this beach is amazing for that because it's so large. You can have your own private ceremony, a reception area. And even though there will be, of course, guests utilizing the beach in other areas, it's so wide that you have so much space you're able to have blocked off just for your particular group. So again, a really great dining option here. This is one of my favorite restaurants. This is Coco Loco's. So what's really great about this is it's just a very casual dining experience. They do fresh tacos, ceviche. It's really, really neat. You just fill out a little form, basically like a little checklist of what you want, and you pass it through. They prepare it for you. You can dine inside. Now, of course, remember, all of our seating has been reconfigured to accommodate social distancing. So what you see in our photos is pre-COVID. Everything has been rearranged to, of course, accommodate for that. But you can dine inside, or you can bring it out, and we have picnic tables and things right around the pool. So it's really casual. Sometimes, you might be hanging out by the pool, reading your book, you get a little bit hungry, but you know what, you're really enjoying that book, or just enjoying sitting outside and don't want to necessarily get fully dressed to go sit at a restaurant. You have the flexibility of doing that. Also, of course, I want to talk about our buffet restaurants. I don't have a slide of it for this presentation, but one of the most exciting things for me was the fact that with our Playa Safe Stay promise, we were able to still maintain our buffet restaurants. They are so popular. They're not your typical buffet, sort of cafeteria lineup. They are like amazing restaurants with fresh food stations all over, foods being prepared right in front of you. So what we've done is we've put, if you aren't familiar with what we've done already, is we've just put a plexiglass barrier between our guests and our staff. And of course, our staff are all in their PPE gear. And what they're doing is they're assisted serving with the buffet. So they'll just walk with you as you make your way through the buffet and place whatever items you want on your plate. And then they'll pass it over to you to go and take a seat. So really excited to still be having our buffet restaurants. Of course, another really amazing thing that we have at all of our properties is our gourmet coffee shops. Now, you can see here, this is not just, a little area of the lobby bar where you can get your coffee and maybe some snacks. This is a true barista coffee shop. So throughout the day, the snacks available will change. In the mornings, they're typically going to start out with, fruit salads, croissants, muffins, different things like that. So it's great if you're not a big breakfast eater. Maybe you just want to grab your coffee and a light something light to eat. And then of course throughout the day they'll bring out sweets and sandwiches and things like that. And of course there are coffees and teas. And I love here, what is it they have here? The cookies and cream frappuccino. I got Freddie hooked on the cookies and cream frappuccino here at the Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos. Of course, we've got a number of different lounge areas. This is our 24-hour lounge, which is great. It's a nice air-conditioned area. So, maybe you've been sitting outside in the heat and you just want to, go cool off, but you don't necessarily want to go up to your room, maybe grab a light snack. Maybe you want to check in, do your online check-in. I also love the 24-hour lounge when you have a later flight and we're not able to extend your room checkout. Oftentimes, again, depending on occupancy levels, you do have to check out at the typical checkout time, but then maybe you don't have to leave for the airport for a few hours. Personally, I always like to shower, put on my fresh clothes before I go to the airport. So it's nice to have a lounge like this that I can go and hang out in, read my book, not have to worry about getting all hot and sweaty before I go to the airport. Another really great bar we have is our tequila bar, our Guava. Of course, when you're in Mexico, you certainly want to be sampling the tequilas. So you can definitely do this here. And it's actually really cool. To just behind the tables and chairs here, there's actually a waterfall that drops down, and it's comes right behind our main staircase from the lobby down to the main pool area. So there's a really pretty waterfall there. So it's a really nice ambiance. And of course, very popular for us is our fire pits. We've actually implemented these fire pits in a number of different properties now. It's particularly here in Los Cabos, it's nice to have these fire pits again in the evenings because it does tend to cool down a little bit. So it's nice to be able to go out there, have a glass of wine by the fire, chit chat, and of course our staff are there to serve you as well if you need a refill. So now we're going to move over to the Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta, which is one of my very favorite properties. I fell in love instantly with not only this resort, but with the destination. So if you've never been to Puerto Vallarta, you absolutely must at least once. It is not your powder white sand, crystal clear turquoise waters. And sometimes that's why people will look at Puerto Vallarta and, in their mind, they envision the Caribbean Sea, those, again, white sands, turquoise water. And so they don't necessarily look at it. And I always say, if you have not been, you have to go despite that. And when you go, you, I think, will fall in love as well. It is so lush. It is so beautiful. This is actually a new photo for the presentations. I put some new pictures in here just to change things up for you guys. And I really wanted to highlight the lush vegetation behind this property. Now, one of the great things about this property is that it's all ocean facing. So all of our rooms, our restaurants, the spa, the pools, the gym, everything faces the ocean. But what you don't see oftentimes is how beautiful the backdrop is of the property. And believe it or not, there's actually a main road that runs behind there, but you don't even see it or hear it. And I mean that sincerely. You would never know. I love how secluded and private this property feels. Now, even though you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, you're on your own beach. We don't share our beach with any other resorts, which is another really great selling feature. It's very, very private. You feel like you're in the middle of nowhere, but you're actually only 5 minutes from downtown. It's a $7 taxi ride to downtown Puerto Vallarta, which is 100% hands down my very favorite town in all of Mexico that I've ever been to. It's actually quite large. There's a lot of really great shopping, and not just your designer shops. In fact, the designer shops are more towards the marina or the cruise port rather than the downtown. Downtown has nightlife. It has really great shops, whether it's clothing, souvenirs, restaurants. If you want something very simple, you want to just grab some tacos and cerveza, on a picnic table on the beach, you can do that. And you can also experience a fine, five-star fine dining experience right in downtown as well. So I really love it. There's so many amazing excursions to do here. I always encourage guests, to go off property, both here and in Los Cabos, because there's some very unique excursions to do. And certainly in Puerto Vallarta, there's some beautiful ones to do in the beautiful surroundings. Now, I just wanted to show you a couple different shots and different angles from this area. So again, you can see the property to your left of your screen out looking over the ocean. And of course, Puerto Vallarta is known for its incredible sunsets. So you're certainly going to be able to take advantage of that. And I love, again, you have no other properties near you. Now, some of you may have heard me in the past say that there is a villa that I will purchase one day when I win the lottery, and you can see it perfectly in the cliffs here, right to the right of the property here. I just noticed that right now. Whenever I'm there, I'm like, one day I want that villa. I'll buy that villa. It's so beautiful. And then here's just an overhead shot. Now, one of the great things, again, that I really love is just how compact the property is. It's really small. It's only 335 rooms. And especially, again, whether you're with your family, whether you're traveling with a group of friends, a destination wedding, whoever you're traveling with, I love that everything is so close by. It's never more than a minute or two to get anywhere that you need to get to. So for destination weddings in particular, I love this because it's so much easier for the bride and groom to relax and be able to just sort of, putter around, pop into their guests, check in, see how everyone's doing. And again, you can see that beautiful beach. It is a swimmable beach as well, so that's always really important. And it's also a really soft textured sand. So I know, again, that might seem silly to some, but to some people that's really important. And in Nuevo Vallarta, which is to the right of us on the other side of downtown, it's actually a really hard sand. You can actually very comfortably ride your bike on the sand in Nuevo Vallarta. Where here it's a really soft sand. Now here's just another great shot from one of our main pool areas. Now this is, again, a Ziva property, so it is all ages. So we do have this incredible infinity pool. This is where I actually have been able to see whales from. Just sitting out on the lounge furniture, you can see whales out during the winter months. And you can see in the mountains over there, that's actually Nuevo Vallarta. So imagine how beautiful, you can see sort of the buildings, to the right of those mountains. Imagine how beautiful that is at night when it's dark and all you see in the distance is Nuevo Vallarta, especially if you're in some of our suites that are higher up, some of our higher room categories or our club tower, you're just looking out over the ocean at those beautiful views. Now we do also have an adults only pool area here. So we do, again, even though we have an all ages resort with our Hyatt Zivas, we do get a lot of guests that are traveling without kids. And I think particularly here at the Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta, we do get a lot of adults that aren't traveling with kids. Now we do have a number of different room categories. So I do want to point out, this is what one of our ocean view rooms would look like. Now this room category would be exactly what our Resort King or Resort Double would be. So an entry level room would look the exact same. It's just the view that changes in these categories. So as you get higher, of course, you just have a more expansive view. Now, one thing that is important to point out is that this is what a room with a balcony would look like. Now, it might seem strange. Of course, it's a balcony. You can see that. Not all of our regular rooms here have balconies. So if you have a room category that is just an ocean view king or a resort view king, anything that doesn't have a club in the title, if it doesn't have balcony, then it's going to have a Romeo and Juliet style balcony or a French balcony. Now, a lot of people like to compare this to river cruising. So if that's a better visual for you, just imagine that. So you can still open your doors the same way as you would a balcony like this. You just can't step out. So if you have clients that a balcony is important to, they like to go out, have their coffee, maybe have a glass of wine at night, look at the beautiful sunset on their balcony, you're going to want to make sure you book them into a room category that is either a club level room, which we're going to see in a moment, or a room category that has balcony in the title. Okay, again, here as well at this Hyatt property, just like all of our Hyatt properties, your bedding is guaranteed. You have your 24-hour room service, you have your fully stocked mini bar, and just really beautiful accommodations. This is what our club level rooms look like. So you can see right off the bat, they are larger. So I do always encourage clients, if they have the budget for the upgrade, and if they're traveling with kids or teenagers, I always just think it's nice to have a little bit of extra space if you're traveling with families. Now, again, our regular rooms, like you saw, also are very spacious, so don't worry. But if they've got the budget for it and are looking to enhance their experience, then a club level room is great. And of course, we have swim out suites as well. Now, you may not know, so it's important to explain that all of our swim out suites at any of our properties, you do have to be over the age of 13. So it's 13 and above in order to accommodate in a swim out suite. And that's simply for just liability, safety. We want to make sure that all of our guests are safe and there's no unattended little ones. Now, at the Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta, we do have some swim out suites that are reserved for guests 18 and above, and they are in our main tower. And that's simply because they are raised. So they actually come out quite high and have an infinity edge. So it is reserved for guests 18 and above. Look at those views, even just from the swim out suites here. Oftentimes with swim out suites, you have obstructed views because they're typically on the ground floor. So you can really take advantage of the swim out suites here at the Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta. Now, again, mentioning the club level rooms, just wanted to show you a quick photo of our club lounge. So again, part of the perks of being in a club guest is that you have a separate club lounge area that has your bar service, there's food and beverage available, and of course, your own separate concierge. Now, just to take a look at some of our food and beverage outlets, this is Blaze. This is maybe my favorite restaurant at any of our properties, or certainly one of my top restaurants. And for those of you that have been there before, but maybe haven't seen, Blaze was so popular that we actually had to extend the restaurant and make it larger because guests loved it. Now, this is open for breakfast and lunch a la carte. And then, of course, it's an a la carte dinner as well, which is our steakhouse. And it is not only a beautiful setting, but absolutely delicious. I always tell anybody who asks, if you're sending clients down to Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta for any special occasion, maybe they're celebrating something, a birthday, an anniversary, proposal perhaps, this is, in my opinion, the most romantic restaurant we have. So I always recommend this one for anything special. This is Casa Grande, our Mexican restaurant, and I love how authentic and Mexican this restaurant feels. From the minute you arrive, as soon as you walk in, you actually feel like you're in a little Mexican street. where the bar area is while you wait to be seated. And of course, the food is phenomenal. This is our Italian restaurant. I'm a sucker for Italian, and this is an absolutely great restaurant. Again, you can see those ocean views. Remember, at the beginning of the presentation, I mentioned that all of the areas on property here are ocean facing. So there really are some really beautiful views. And of course, we've got some great bars. We did take a look at our tequila bar already. Here we have our pool bar. And on the opposite side of the bar is actually a swim out bar. So right to the left of this bar, there's actually stairs that take you down into our infinity pool, and there's a swim up bar there. And just look right through that bar. Look at the ocean. Look at those. You just see nothing but ocean for miles. It is absolutely beautiful. What I wouldn't do to be there right now. Now, a new enhancement for the property here at Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta is our sports bar. And if you've seen this in person, then you are already ahead of me, because I have not even been able to see this in person. One of the things that we have at all of our Hyatt Zivas and Hyatt Zilara resorts is a sports bar. So you'll find at our properties, we don't have nightclubs or discos. We find that with our clientele, we really are able to find something for everybody with our sports bars, our piano bars, our lounges. We've got martini bars at some of our properties. So we really do have a number of bars and lounges, and our sports bars are really, really popular. So typically after the nightly show takes place, which here at the Hyatt Ziva Puerto Vallarta is actually done outside on the pool deck, which is really, really cool. And typically after the shows take place, the guests will make their way to one of the lounges, but those that are looking for a little bit more of an active atmosphere tend to make their way to the sports bar. Of course, if there's any live sporting events going on, we will have them streamed. They'll be playing on all of the TVs, and we've got a massive one here. But we also do a lot of other super fun things in our sports bars. So we'll have karaoke, we will have DJs come in, live bands. So there's always a lot of fun things happening here. And of course, the spa. It's funny, I actually went to change out my spa picture. I was going to put in a different picture because this is one that we use quite often, but I decided to keep it because one of the things I love about the spa is, of course, there's so many great treatments. This is our hydrotherapy area. There's beautiful oceanfront treatment rooms where you can actually have your massage right out on the terrace. How beautiful would it be to have a sunset massage? Hearing the waves and, that sunset going down, it's just gorgeous. But what I love about this hydrotherapy area is, again, maybe you have a later flight going out and you have to check out at regular time. It only costs, I think, about $25 US dollars, and I could be wrong, so we'll want to reconfirm that. If your clients are asking, don't quote me. But it's a really great price to have access to the hydrotherapy area for the day. And with that, of course, you have the change room and the showers. So if I had a later flight, why not check out of my room, either go get a massage, that's what I would do personally, but maybe you don't want to get a massage, just go and use the hydrotherapy area. When you're done relaxing in the pool, hanging out by the in the lounge chairs there, catching some last minute rays to bring your tan home, hop in the shower, get changed into your fresh clothes, and then make your way to the airport. You can hang out here all day if you need to. And I just love it. I think it's a great area, beautiful views. So that's all that I have for the properties. I do want to just take a minute and talk about Agent Cash again. I know there's so many of you that have been on our webinars. You've probably done many of our webinars lately, and thank you so much for that. It's such a great time right now to just dig in and educate yourself, get a refresh, because I know, guys, I know it's going to get busy. I know it is. We have definitely seeing steps in the right direction. In Calgary, we're so excited to have the pilot program for the COVID testing, the rapid COVID testing, which will hopefully go off without a hitch and then be implemented at all of the airports across Canada so we can start traveling again, so we can get our guests are comfortable. Of course, we know not everybody is going to want to travel yet, but certainly from what I've seen, majority of people are just waiting for that. They're waiting to not have to do the post-travel quarantine. So take the time like you're doing right now and learn everything you need to know before it gets busy. So part of that is going on the agent portal. If you haven't been on there in a while and you missed the email, We actually just updated our certification courses. So today we talked about those two particular properties. You can log in under the sales tools and take certification courses on all of our brands. Hyatt should be added soon, and also Hilton, but pop on there, do the Jewels, do the Sanctuary, and do the Panama Jack certifications, do the groups and wedding certifications, get yourself all caught up. Also on there as well is our media library. If you are not part of the media library already, I honestly have media library on my computer every single day, all day, because I use it nonstop. You can get every single photo that we have. Social media is your best friend right now. If you haven't started using social media to market to your clients, you really, really, really need to start thinking about that. If you're in an agency or you're working for a host agency, that you're able to do that. People are excited. They want to travel. They might not be traveling now, but they want to know about it. They want to see about it. They want to, learn about all the amazing properties, Playa properties, of course. So you can find that in our media library. Of course, you all know about registering your bookings, so I hopefully don't need to remind you of that. And thank you so much for those of you who have, been supporting us with registering your bookings. And I know when the bookings come in, you all are going to. Remember that you earn points on all of your bookings. So whenever you register a room, you do have to register every room. So that's important. Even if you have the same family, the same booking number, but 2 rooms, 3 rooms, you have to make sure you register each room in order to get credit for it, okay? You're gonna earn your points that you can redeem for either free nights or for cash on a reloadable Visa card, okay? Also on that site is where you're going to see all of the offers we have. Right now we have so many offers. I didn't want to put a slide in for every single offer and go through it all with you, but remember we do. We've got our Work from Paradise. We have our Sanctuary Villa offer. We have our Book 3, Stay 3 for our Dominican properties. And that's for you guys. That's for you guys to earn free nights. We have so many offers on the Agent Cash portal. Just look at offers, and then you'll see everything that we have for you and for your consumers. That's also where you find agent rates. Just this week alone, I had, I don't know how many emails in the last week asking about agent rates. It's all under offers, and you can book it there. So not only, oftentimes what we used to be, you'd request an agent rate and we'd give you the entry level room, and maybe you want to upgrade. Maybe you want an ocean view or a butler suite. You can actually look at all of the room categories and book whatever you want at the agent rate. So there's so much in the Agent Cash portal. So please take the time, pardon me, to go through it. Most importantly, that's how we see the business. And you guys know that. We love being able to reach out and thank you. We love being able to invite you on fam trips when they happen, VIP events, spotlight awards, so many great things that we get to do with our agents, and we want you all to be a part of it. So make sure you're taking the time to register. Now, of course, last but not least, if you need anything at all, please, please, please reach out. Any questions? I always say no question is a silly question, and I sincerely mean that. Of course, so much information is available on our site. We have property fact sheets. So if you want to go on the agent site and get those, take a look. There's tons of information on there, but reach out to me. I am currently covering Canada. Not for much longer. We do have Freddie Marsh coming back with us soon, and then hopefully Christian soon after that. But for now, it's me. Reach out to me, of course. We've got our fearless leader, Rose Cosentino, who's taking care of so many amazing things for us, allowing us to do what we do every day. So thank you all so much. If you have any questions, I think we'll open it up and see if I can help you guys out with anything.
Thank you so much, Amanda. If any of the agents has more questions, please feel free to type them in right now. And the first question is, do you have vegan menus, or is it by request only?
We can definitely accommodate vegan. Usually there is there's usually vegetarian and vegan on the menu. So there's usually a couple items on our a la carte menus, but it is really great that somebody asked this, because I think it's really important to point out that, again, everybody knows us for a really incredible food and beverage program. And part of that is our sensitivity to food restrictions. So whether it's vegan, whether it's vegetarian, whether it's keto, whatever it is, we really will do our very best to accommodate. So even if there are not items on the menu, our food and beverage team will absolutely work with each and every one of our guests to come up with some items that will work. And by that, I don't mean, you're eating the same thing every day. We've got an amazing team that will work with you, and food allergies as well. Any clients that have any specific allergies, we usually try to put them in touch or set up a meeting with someone from our food and beverage team upon check-in, just so that our guests are fully aware of all of their options and have a point of contact in destination.
Thank you. And the next question is about the beds. Are your doubles double doubles or double queens?
It actually depends on the property. So they are, I believe most of them are actually the 3/4 size. So they're a little bit bigger than a double, but not quite a queen. Most of our properties, anything that we newly renovate, we do typically put in queen size, but I do believe in Cabo and Puerto Vallarta, in the regular room categories, they are the 3/4 size. So they are a little bit bigger than doubles.
Thank you. And are the spas and hydrotherapy open right now?
Yes, they are. Yeah, definitely. Of course,
Can
like I said, so I just want to add on to that. They are open, but again, if anybody is unsure of our Playa Safe Stay promise, now's a perfect time to just remind you that you can find that right on the Playa website, as well as the Agent Cash site. There's a fact sheet of Q&As, and there's also a really great video. So we've implemented everything that the Hyatts around the world have implemented, as well as the Hiltons around the world, and of course put in some of our own inclusions into that promise as well. So rest assured that we are doing an incredible job, and the feedback has been really, really positive as well. And sorry, this is going to be a bit of a long-winded answer, but I think it's really important to just also point out that when things start to pick up, if you guys haven't noticed this already, clients are really going to be looking to you for their recommendations. They're going to be looking to brands that they trust, that they recognize, and that they're familiar with. So this is a huge opportunity for you and for us with the Hiltons and the Hyatts, among the other resorts as well.
Thank you. And while we're on the topic of the protocols, do you have any areas where clients have to wear masks on the property?
We do, of course, encourage our guests to wear masks at all of our properties in the common areas. It is not mandatory in Mexico or the Dominican Republic, but it is mandatory on the island of Jamaica. So when you are on property and you're in common areas, you do have to wear a mask. Of course, when you are by the pool, in the pool, the beach, the restaurants, of course, you're not required to wear your mask at that time. But when you're walking throughout the resort in Jamaica and in any of the main, like the lobby areas, things like that, it is required if you're not eating or drinking at that time. But Dominican Republic and Mexico, it's not required, but it is strongly encouraged.
Thank you. And do clients have to pre-book pool times?
No, they don't.
Great, thank you.
Remember, sorry, Kate, I just wanted to add to that with the pre-booking of pool times, just remember everybody that properties are mandated to run at lower occupancies right now. So even at 100% right now, it's really not 100%. So, there's I don't even know, until the protocols change due to COVID, until there's a vaccine, I'm not sure when that time would be. We're mandated to have lower occupancy levels. So we will never be at a point where we can't safely social distance for our clients. The safety of our guests and our staff are the of utmost importance for us.
Thank you. And we do have a question about the media library. Can agents use the media library for their own personalized travel websites, and can they also use the videos?
Absolutely. We encourage you. If you have a login and password to Media Library, you're welcome to use any of those images or videos for anything that you'd like.
Thank you. And do you have wheelchair access?
Yes, we do. Yep, every single one of our properties does. The only property that we do have a couple properties that do not have elevators. The Jewel Paradise Cove, for example, does not have an elevator, but we do have ground level floors. I think Paradise Cove is the only property we have that doesn't have an elevator. but there are ground level rooms.
Thank you. We have a question about agent's cash. Will the expiry date for the agent cash be moved ahead for the
We added on an additional 3 months to the expiry. So normally agent cash points expire in 18 months. So now they expire in 21 months. So there will, at this point, there will be no further extensions. So if what we did do though, for everybody who's not aware, if you do log into agent cash and click on the agent cash tab where you see your dashboard, you will actually see right there when your points expire. So that is up to date. So I'm highly encouraging everybody to take a peek at that and cash out for your cash on the Visa card if you don't think you'll be able to use your nights before they expire. But they are up to date with the 21 month extension, or the 3-month extension giving you 21 months.
Thank you. And I believe our last question, do you cater halal meal for a group of 12?
We do not. We unfortunately, none of our properties are equipped with a halal kitchen, so we are not able to prepare meals in-house. However, we definitely can, depending on the property, we are able to typically outsource. I can't say that for all resorts, so I would reach out to your BDM and we can find that out for you, depending on the property that you're looking at, because we are able to cater sometimes off property for groups that are looking for halal food.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I believe these were all of the questions. But again, I will add, Amanda, your contact and your contact information to the follow-up email. So if any of the agents have questions after the webinar, you can always reach out. We will be announcing a lucky winner of a 3-night stay for 2 guests at Hyatt Ziva Los Cabos in the follow-up email tomorrow. And I'll also add a link to this recorded webinar if you want to rewatch it or share it with your clients. Thank you so much, everybody who've participated, and thank you, Amanda, for the great presentation.
Thank you so much. And thanks everybody for joining us. Have a great rest of the day.
You too. Bye.
Bye.